All right, UFC 307 goes down next weekend from Salt Lake City. The pay-per-views are coming fast and furious.
What's the retail on one of those?
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
You know what I'm saying? They're coming on strong. And let me tell you, Alex Pereira will be in the main event. As you know, he's taking on Khalil Rountree Jr., as you know. But get ready for this one. This is a hot take. You guys aren't going to like this. There's going to be a lot of shit talk in the comment section. Khalil Rountree Jr. might just be, on paper, Alex Pereira's toughest title fight yet. Of course, I'm talking about title fights because Israel Adesanya defeated Pereira in the cage already. But when it comes to title fights, certainly at 205 pounds, I'm telling you right now, when you look at this, when you break it down, Khalil Rountree Jr. might just be the guy to shock the world and shock Pereira by beating him at his own game. So, why do I say this? What is this madness you speak of, Bisping? Well, first of all, let's go through them. Yuri Prochazka, of course, the man's phenomenal. I'm a massive fan of Yuri's, the way that he carries himself, the way that he fights, the way that he lives his life by the samurai code. But if we're being critical, if we're breaking it down, there's a lot of openings there for somebody like Pereira to catch. And of course, Pereira did catch him. Knocked him out with the head kick, knocked him out with the elbows at Madison Square Garden. Love Yuri though, and he could be a champion again. Before that, we had Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill, of course, former champion once again. Listen, the man's phenomenal. He's got great punching power. Knocked Johnny Walker into the next dimension with that right hand that he landed. But he's a bit of a street fighter. He's a tough bastard. He's not someone you want to mess with, and he certainly has good hands. But is he as good as Rountree Jr.? Technically, maybe not. And then before that, it was Yuri Prochazka. And before that, another champion, Jan Blachowicz. Now, Jan Blachowicz, Polish power, this guy is phenomenal, okay? I'm not ripping on these fighters, not at all. And you'll understand what I'm saying in a second when we get to Rountree. But Jan Blachowicz is a well-rounded guy. Jan Blachowicz went out there, tried to use the grappling as well. Did get Pereira down, but he couldn't capitalize on the position. Didn't get the rear naked choke and didn't get the victory. Khalil Rountree Jr. is a different kettle of fish. This is a man that has absolutely no intention of shooting a takedown. I spoke to him on the podcast. I said, listen, if I was coaching you, maybe I'd tell you to work on your wrestling. His response was,
if it were my coach, I'd say, maybe I need to look for another coach, man.
Wow, really, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I'm not a wrestler. Yes, I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm able to do a lot of, different things. My grappling's good. My wrestling's decent, but that's just not me. That's not my instinct, And so, why would I put myself in harm's way to try to secure this victory when that's just not me, that's just not my style.
My coach said that they clearly don't know what I'm bringing to the table. What is Khalil bringing to the table? Well, let's go through it. First of all, the man's on a 5-fight win streak. The first stoppage on this new streak was against Modestas Pekauskas, right? What did he do there? Snapped the poor guy's leg, oblique kick. Dude, it was horrible. Stomped on the leg, blew the knee out, and that was that. Stopped Cole Robinson, body kick, beautiful kick right to the body. Dustin Jacoby, a former Glory kickboxer, by the way, beat him at his own game, on the feet, a close one, but Dustin Jacoby is not an easy man to beat. Then he knocked out Chris Dawkins, beautiful straight left, boom, straight down the pipe, put him to sleep in round one, and then, of course, last time out against Anthony Smith. Now, Anthony Smith was able to land some straight rights. And if Smith can land them, you got to think that Pereira is going to land them. But if we dig a little deeper, if we look at some of the other people that he's beaten, there's a name that stands out. And that name is the one and only Gökhan Saki. Of course, we're talking about the Turkish Tyson, a man that in kickboxing has a record of 82 wins, 16 losses, 59 knockouts. And I am telling you now, this is a fighter that you have to take seriously. And of course, Pereira has to take seriously. Some of these names knocked out Tyrone Spong in the first round. That is ridiculous. When you go through the record, there's an Anderson Silva on there. But it wasn't the Anderson Silva that I shared the octagon with. No, it's yet another Brazilian called Anderson Silva. Badahari, Alistair Overeem, Melvin Manhoff. If you don't know who Melvin Manhoff is, let me tell you, that man is an absolute monster. Got a win over Sugar Ray Safo. We're talking legendary kickboxing names. And when he went up against Khalil Rountree Jr., he got knocked out in the first round. What is Khalil? Well, Khalil is a kickboxer. He has got the confidence to put it out there and truly mean it, by the way, that he's not going to shoot. He's going to stand there. He's going to go toe-to-toe. He's going to try and beat Pereira at his own game. Now, Pereira takes things seriously. Of course, last time out of Salt Lake City, he got very tired against Jan Blachowicz, as I said. This time, he's already out there. He's been there for about 4 weeks. He's out there in the countryside, in the wilderness. He's taking pictures with mooses.
Show him the shower.
The man doesn't care. He is acclimatizing because guess what? When you fight at elevation, unless you've truly experienced it, it is a bitch. And it doesn't matter how hard you train, how much you push yourself to the limit, how badly you want it. If you don't get there in time and let the body acclimate and adjust to the elevation, you're screwed. It's as simple as that. So Pereira knows what he's got ahead of him. But I'm telling you right now, Khalil Rountree Jr. is the kickboxer killer. Dustin Jacoby, Modestas Bukauskas, Gokhan Saki, the list goes on. Will the next name that he claims be the one and only Alex Pereira, but more importantly, the light heavyweight championship of the world, and to do it by beating him at his own game? You got to think, if I'm Alex Pereira, you got to think, this cheeky little bastard, he thinks he's going to come in here and beat me. Well, we've got to remember, he's beaten glory kickboxers before. He's beaten champions before. He's beaten them at their own game and he's knocked them out in round 1. And as I said, he's not trying to go out there and wrestle him. No way. And when you look at Khalil Rountree Jr. and the style that he has, he's very tight. He's very guarded. The shoulders are up. The chin is down. He's very technical. He's in crazy shape. And if you know about the story of Khalil Rountree, this is not someone you should underestimate. A long time ago, before mixed martial arts, this man was weighing like 350 pounds, massively out of shape. He smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. The man had no idea about cardio, training, fitness, any of that stuff. But then one day he decided enough is enough. Joined the gym, lost some weight, started competing, stopped smoking, and now here he is fighting for the championship of the world on a 5-fight win streak. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to beat Alex Pereira. I'm just saying don't be surprised if he does, because the man has got every chance of doing so. Of course, Pereira hits harder. That's a fact. Pereira's got the momentum. Pereira's fought higher level competition. Pereira's used to these big fight feels, the pressure, the mental anxiety right before you go out there in the main event of a pay-per-view with the reality of earning millions of dollars down the line. That takes its toll on you. So, of course, Pereira's got tons of advantages. But I'm just saying, when you break it down, Khalil Rountree Jr. might be one of the toughest tests that he's fought. And that's no disrespect to Yuri Prochazka, to Jamal Hill, to Jan Blachowicz, or even Israel Adesanya. These are all tremendous fighters. I'm just saying Khalil Rountree Jr. has got something different that he brings to the table. He ain't thinking about takedowns. He ain't thinking about shammers. He ain't thinking about wrestling or armbars or none of that shit. He's coming to do one thing only. Chin down, hands up, woof, and unload. And I can't wait to see it. As I say, I don't know who's going to win. But tell me what you think. Am I out of my mind? I said this on the podcast to Anthony Smith. I said, this is a hot take. He went, oh my God, you're out of your mind, Michael. This is a very, very hot take, okay? An extremely hot take. Some might say boiling. Some might say nuclear. But I'm telling you right now, call me crazy, but Khalil Rountree Jr. might just be the toughest title fight of Alex Pereira's career. What do you think? Thanks for watching. Subscribe. See you soon.